I'm Cookie, and welcome back to another episode of the Untold Origins, the series where I talk about the backstories of one or multiple minor characters from my series Legends. Once again, I will continue talking about the Seven Princesses, a group of princesses who are not royalty, but were chosen through an application. In this episode, I will talk about Alana and her younger sister, Flutter. Born in Wolverina, Alana and Flutter grew up with two loving parents. Alana was about 3 years older than her sister. But as the pair grew older, most people would mistake Flutter as being the eldest. That's because she would always be the one looking out for her sister. From a young age, Alana has struggled interacting with new people. When someone would come up to her, she would completely shut off and be unresponsive, so Flutter would have to be the one making conversations and help Alana to adjust. Unlike Alana, Flutter was very outgoing and bold, never afraid of anything, though this sometimes would land her in trouble. And despite Alana struggling with interacting with people, Flutter was one of the only ones she could easily come up to, probably because she was the only one who truly understood her. Their parents, on the other hand, tried to brush this off as Alana being extremely shy, thinking that she would eventually outgrow it. But she never did. In fact, it got worse, and she would often be on the brink of panic attacks. Flutter became quickly familiar with her behavior and would always know how to help. The best thing that she would do is take Alana out to the forest, where they could sit and be amongst nature. Their family were animal lovers and owned a shelter where they cared for animals who were unable to go home. In fact, they had not only inherited their father's animal magic, but they also were shapeshifters, allowing them to turn into any animal they wanted. So the forest had become their second home. I could just lay here forever, basking under the trees, listening to the sound of birds and the slight rustle of the leaves. Yeah, if only we could bring the forest indoors. Despite their parents not understanding Alana's anxiety, they still developed a close bond. Their father would teach the sisters how to use their powers and supervise their training. They would use these powers to help the parents care for the animals in the shelter. Alana developed a special connection to animals, finding them easier to talk to. Flutter used this knowledge to find people who had a similar connection, so that her sister could have an easier time interacting with people. This slowly built Alana's confidence, though she still preferred hanging out with her sister and the animals. They both had intended on taking over the shelter once their parents retired. That was until they approached them with an opportunity to become princesses. I promise this is a wonderful opportunity for you both. You two are already skilled with your powers and possess the rare trait of being shapeshifters. Wolverina could use fairies like you. But I'm happy here. I can't handle talking to new people, let alone the royal family. And I'm not exactly fit for royalty. It took a while of convincing, but they did eventually decide to fill out the application, expecting to be rejected. However, the opposite happened, and they had to make a final decision. Ultimately, they decided to accept going, at least to try out the experience. If they didn't like it, they could always just leave. Their parents dropped them off at the palace where they met the other applicants. Flutter pushed Alana to talk to them, but soon decided to introduce herself. She quickly began a conversation with Gizmo and Katrina, becoming interested in their homelands, melodic shores, and Python. Alana tried to keep to herself, noticing two other girls already locked in conversation, leaving herself and another girl, Emma. Neither of them talked to each other for the first few minutes, but slowly, Emma tried starting a conversation. Alana gave a few short-worded answers, expecting Emma to stop eventually. But she kept going, without being too overbearing. Before long, they were all introduced to the royal family, and the real training began. Flutter quickly began enjoying herself, being glad she decided to apply. Alana wasn't happy at first, but slowly, she was glad too. Before long, Queen Gloria asked all the princesses to take an oath of loyalty, and though others questioned this, both Alana and Flutter stayed quiet. Life was good for the sisters, especially Alana, who after many years started to open up and made her first real friend in Emma, and became friends with the other princesses as well. Flutter couldn't be happier for her sister, and was finally happy to spend some time with different people. Now, something significant happens, but I won't say what exactly because that's tied to major spoilers. Just note that Flutter gets badly injured, as you can probably tell from the scar. She's alright though, even if her eye does have poor vision. Alana was extremely worried and upset from that incident, and started to close herself off from everyone, only talking to Flutter, even after she had fully recovered. She started debating whether or not to stay at the palace as she no longer felt safe, often feeling that she was on the edge of a panic attack. Luckily, Flutter managed to comfort her and reassure her that everything was fine and things would get better. And they did, slowly, although part of her always felt the need to leave. And after many years, she, Flutter, and the rest of the princesses did move on with their lives to pursue other aspirations after Queen Catherine stepped down. Flutter and Alana returned to their family's animal shelter and took it after they retired. They couldn't be happier doing the things they loved. They still keep in contact with their friends, learn about what they've been up to. And though they have stopped being princesses, they're still fairies of Wolverina and would be ready to protect it when the time comes. And that's their backstory. Just like the last two episodes, here are a few fun facts about them. Like Symphony and Gadget, Alana used to be a character from a TV show, though this time she was not a Winx Club character. She actually used to be Fluttershy from My Little Pony, hence why she is extremely shy around people. Unlike Winx Club, MLP does not have any lasting influence in Legends. As for Flutter, she used to be named Flutterbrave, to contrast Fluttershy. As you can tell, I kept the Flutter part, not the Brave part, at least in the name. As for how Alana got her new name, I just heard the name Alana, liked it, and decided that should be her new name. When rewriting the backstory, I wanted to keep Alana as being shy and timid, but rather than just having it be her personality, I decided to have her struggle with anxiety. Once I did that, it gave me a much clearer direction on the rewrite. As for Flutter, not much changed. I just made her more helpful to her sister and gave her the scar. So, that's all I have for this video. Make sure to comment below what you thought of the backstory. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye!